Hey everybody, it's Adam Tereska. Hope everyone's doing great. With the questionable weather that we've had so far, I'm on hold from working on my Thunderbird project, and I'm also in the middle of doing some editing on videos that I'm doing on that car. So while we're on a standstill with our unpredictable weather right now here in Pennsylvania, I figured I'd come over to Wyoming, Pennsylvania and check out the Wyoming Monument in honor of the Battle of Wyoming. We have cannons, we have a monument tower, we got a few things here to check out. I think it's gonna be a neat little place to see. Let's go get the shot. Give you a brief, quick overlook, and then we'll get into some more detail and everything. There's one of the two cannons that are here. You can see the big monument building, which is fenced in. We've got a boulder for a memorial piece, and a brief noting of the Battle of Wyoming on a historical sign, which I'll hold here for a few minutes so you can see that. "300 Patriots under Colonel Zebulon Butler were defeated by 1,100 British Torres and Indians." And you can see what it says there. And over here, we have the monument boulder. And this property has been placed on the National Register of Historical Places by the United States Department of the Interior, Wyoming Monument 2002. There's the other cannons they have here on site. Some of the cannonballs. Unfortunately, besides spiders, which don't bother me at all, looks like somebody may have put trash in there. I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised. Here's a close-up of the cannonballs. They've got 5 of them here. And a sign that needs to be thoroughly cleaned up big time in regards to the, I believe this is for the cannons. And this bronze tablet was erected by Lieutenant Chase H. Riley, post 567 GAR, Wyoming, Pennsylvania, to make known in brief the history of these 2 cannons and the balls. These cannons were mounted during the War of the Rebel Lion in the casemates of the old Fort Hancock at Sandy Hook, New Jersey, and formed part of the defense of the southern entrance of the New York harbor. The guns were then dismounted and part of the old fort torn down to make room for the modern coast defenses on March 23rd, 1900. A letter written by Admiral J. Shoemaker to Honorable S.W. Davenport, M.C., in behalf of the comrades of Lieutenant Chaz H. Riley, post 567 GAR of Wyoming, Pennsylvania, asking him to use his influence to obtain for their post 2 old cannons with a few cannonballs to be placed in Soldiers' Plot in Wyoming Cemetery or at the Wyoming Monument on June 2nd, 1900. The post was informed by Honorable S.W. Davenport that 2 100-pound rifles and 20 8-inch shells were donated to the post on June 15, 1900. A letter written by John Proctor Jr., 2nd Lieutenant, 5th Artillery Ordnance Officer, stating that the cannons and shells then located at the old Fort Hancock at Sandy Hook could be loaded and shipped to Wyoming, Pennsylvania by Sergeant D.E. Hopler, Battery L, 5th Artillery. On July 3rd, 1901, these cannons were presented to the Wyoming Monument Association by the Lieutenant Chaz Riley, Post 567 of Wyoming. The address was made by Judge Alfred Dart. A response was made by Mrs. Fear, the Secretary of the Monument Association. That's the best I can do trying to read that. It was hard to read with the bird feces on it, but as I said before, it would be really nice if someone was able to come in here, take the time, power wash this down, and maybe put some brass polish on it. And over here we have the monument. Because of the glare, possible hard to see with glare and whatnot, I'll read it out loud. It says, near this spot was fought on the afternoon of the 3rd of July, 1778, the Battle of Wyoming, in which a small band of patriotic Americans, chiefly the undisciplined, the youthful, and the aged, spared by inefficiency from the distant ranks of the Republic, led by Colonel Zebulon Butler and Colonel Nathan Dennison, with the courage that deserves success, fearlessly met and bravely fought a combined British, Tory, and Indian force of thrice their number. Numerical superiority alone gave success to the invader, and widespread havoc, desolation, and ruin marked his savage and bloody footsteps through the valley. This monument, commemorative of these events and in memory of the actors in them, has been erected over the bones of the slain by their descendants and others who gratefully appreciated the services and sacrifices of their patriot ancestors. That's pretty intense. A long time ago, we would do what we called amateur ghost photography in the 90s. And the camera of choice was a Polaroid Instamatic. Now here we have Dulce et Decorum established pro pateria mori. Slain in battle, field officers Lieutenant Colonel George Dorrance, Major John Garrett, Captains James Bidlack Jr., Aholiab Buck, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Robert Durkee, Rezin Gear, Asaph Whitlesey, Dethick Hewitt, William McCarrican, Samuel Ransom, Lazarus Stewart, James Wigton, Lieutenants A. Atherton, Stoddard Boland, Aaron Gaylord, Tim Pierce, Perrin Ross, Elijah Shoemaker, Lazarus Stewart Jr., Asa Stevens, Flavius Waterman, James Wells, Ensigns Jeremiah Bigford, Asa Gore, Silas Gore, Titus Hinman, John Otis, William White, Privates Jabez Atherton, Christopher Avery Eck, A. Benedict, Jabez Beers, Samuel Bigford, Elias Bigsby, David Bigsby, John Boyd, John Brown, Thomas Brown, William Buck, Joseph Budd, Amos Bullock, Asa Bullock, Henry Bush, John Caldwell, Isaac Campbell, Josiah Cameron, Joseph Carey, Joel Church, James Coffrin, William Coffrin, Samuel Cole, Robert Comstock, Brothers Cook, Christopher Courtwright, John Courtwright, Anson Corey, Rufus Corey, Jenks Corey, Samuel Crooker, Joseph Crooker, Jabez Darling, D. Denton, Comrade Davenport. So we come around the back, we have a door. No access because the gate is locked. But it says that the Wyoming Monument Association thanks Doctors Joseph and Rose Mattioli, the Wyoming Commemorative Association, and all whose generous donations made the restoration and preservation of the Wyoming Monument possible in July 2011. And this bronze door was presented to the ladies of the Wyoming Monument Association by Mrs. Charles Law of Pittston, Pennsylvania. Finally, over on this side, we have the slain in battle. And we have the names: Anderson Dana, James Devine, George Downing, Levi Dunn, William Dunn, Dutcher, Benjamin Finch, John Finch, Daniel Finch, Eliza Fish, Cornez Fitchett, Elif Follett, Thomas Foxon, John Franklin, Thomas Fuller, Stephen Fuller, Gardner, George Corr, Green, Samuel Hutchison, William Hammond, Silas Harvey, Benjamin Hatch, Cyprian Heberd, Levi Hicks, James Hopkins, Nathaniel Howard, John Hutchins, Israel Inman, Elijah Inman, Joseph Jennings, Samuel Jackson, Robert Jameson, Henry Johnson, William Lester, Joshua Landon, Daniel Lawrence, William Lawrence, Francis Ledyard, James Locke, Conrad Lowe, Jacob Lowe, Nichols Manville, Job Marshall, New Mathewson, C. McCarty, A. Milliman, Robert McIntyre, Andrew Millard, John Murphy, Joseph Ogden, John Pierce, Abel Palmer, Silas Parker, William Parker, Henry Pencil, Noah Pettibone Jr., Jeremiah Ross, William Reynolds, Elijah Richards, Elias Roberts, Enos Rockway, Timothy Rose, Joseph Shaw, Constance Cyrus, Abel Seeley, Joseph Shaw, Abram Shaw, Darius Spafford, Levi Spencer, James Spencer, Josiah Spencer, Eliezer Sprague, Aaron Stark, Daniel Stark, Joseph Staples, Reuben Staples, Rufus Stevens, James Stevenson, Naylor Swede, Ichabod Tuttle, John Wanvey, Abram Van Gorder, Elisu Waters, Bartholomew Weeks, Jonathan Weeks, Philip Weeks, Peter Wheeler, Stephen Whitten, Ezen Wilcox, John Williams, Elihu Williams Jr., Rufus Williams, Azabah Williams, John Ward, John Wilson, Parker Wilson, Nathan Wade, William Woodringer, Ozias Yale, Ebson Brockway, Joseph Budd, Campbell, Kingsley Comstock, Zipporah Hibbard, Alexander McMillan, Noah Pettibone Sr., Gershom Prince, Gamaliel Truesdale. All of them slain in the Battle of Wyoming. Fighting for beliefs, costing them their lives. They fought the good fight. I encourage anybody and everybody to come check out this location at the corner of Route 11 and Susquehanna Avenue in Wyoming, Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful location. You can relax, you can reminisce, and just enjoy and appreciate the history that is here. Feel the story. God bless these men who fought this good fight. They were willing to give their lives for fighting for what they believe in, and did so. But their fight was not in vain. Hope you appreciate this short little video. Like, share, subscribe if you'd like, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.